Thank you. Hi guys. Just so just quick disclaimer. I've not slept in 30 hours and I'm jet lagged to all hell. So if I sound like an idiot, that's why. So I just wanted to say quickly that I think the biggest Bitcoin meetup I've ever been to was the one in China. I think I did a head count. It was somewhere between 170 and 200 people, give or take. I was probably jet lagged there too. You guys have them by the balls. This is the biggest Bitcoin meetup I've ever been to. So cheers, guys. Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to quickly, Amir had a great talk earlier. I really enjoyed it, and I kind of wanted to elaborate on that a little bit because I've been going to a lot of the Bitcoin conferences lately, and the kind of general underscore theme of a lot of the conferences we've been going to has been, like how can we make a shit ton of money on Bitcoins, and the thing is that that's actually not really why I got into Bitcoins into Bitcoin as a technology. Because I think don't get me wrong, like making startups that like improve people's lives and like if you make a good startup and you improve people's lives, you deserve to make money on that, as long as it's a voluntary like helpful thing. But for example, I think we need to keep this in mind that the whole point of Bitcoin isn't to make a ton of money. That the point of Bitcoin is to reduce the amount of money that people have to pay to do things that Bitcoin can basically do for free. And let me give you an example. The credit card industry, I don't know how it works in the rest of the world, but I'm referring to the United States specifically right now, which is where I'm from, Portland, Oregon. That's the lumberjack look, sorry. I'm going to look this way until they send my bag from Boston, by the way. They left it in Boston, so that's why I look like an idiot right now. But anyway, they charge 30 cents per transaction on credit cards, and then like 3% on top of that or something. And for most merchants, that's their profit margin, and so literally they're using this kind of payment monopoly to just eat away at the profits of all of these merchants that we love to go to and spend our money on and help to run their business and help them to make a living, providing things that make life worth living. And so keep that in mind when you're doing things like startups. Focus on the angle of improving things, reducing costs, making it easier for people to send money to each other, making a just and more fair banking system. That to me is the long-term goal of Bitcoin. That's why I'm interested in it. And so anyway, that rant aside, CoinPunk is the first completely open hybrid web wallet. It's basically the idea is that you can use it to it's a Bitcoin wallet. You can use it to, for example, do a POS transaction at a place that accepts Bitcoin. The fundamentally different thing between CoinPunk and most of the implementations right now, sans a few, is that it is a completely HTML5 based wallet, and it's designed directly with being used for point of sale transaction in mind, using QR codes directly in the web browser. So here's why that's important. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Do we have? Can I get a hand? How many people here have iPhones? Do we have? Can I get hands for iPhones? That's actually. I'm really shocked because so statistically, iPhones are 40% of the U.S. phone market, and they're 12% internationally. And I have no idea what that number is in England, but. That is a huge amount of people to be forcibly kicked off of from being able to use Bitcoin, and that is, and we try to talk about the government side of things, like if the government shuts down Bitcoin, we won't be able, it won't be useful. But I think in this whole conversation about the classic kind of conversation of libertarian versus control government or whatever, we've forgotten that what the real problem is giving one entity too much power to do something. And in this particular scenario, Apple is just as bad as a tyrannical government. And you bought this phone, you paid money for your phone, and they won't let you run an app. It's your hardware, you own it, and they can go in and say you can't run the thing that we don't like on your piece of equipment that you bought, and that's bullshit. And And so I sat down like when they started banning like the Coinbase app and all these other apps, and I was like, how can I get around this? So I figured out how to use CoinPunk to just do an to do a QR code just using their HTML5 interface, the same thing that Twitter.com's website uses on the phone to take a picture to upload, right? And then it uses a pure JavaScript decoder, no server-side assist, anything like that. I did the first demonstration test at the subway in Allentown, Pennsylvania that was like on the news every day for I don't exactly know why, but it was funny. I actually met the guy that runs that subway. He's the guy in the video, if you've ever seen the video of me doing the QR code transaction. I didn't even know if it was gonna work. Like, I had never tested it. I was just like, well, fuck, we're in Pennsylvania, let's try it, and it worked. And so, Apple's continued their kind of crazy plan to kick all the Bitcoin applications off. And what I've been trying to do is, basically take their creepy attempt to shut us out from being able to use iPhones with Bitcoin and take that and shove it completely up their ass. And that's what HTML5 does, because they would have to ban like websites like all of China to be able to do that. And so that's why I'm continuing to work on CoinPunk. We recently launched a kind of a stopgap hosted service called CoinPunk.com that you can use right now as a hot wallet. Throw a couple $100 in it and use your iPhone like at establishments that take Bitcoins right now. I wanted to say quickly that we're doing a crowdfunding campaign right now to try to raise a little bit of money so we can continue working on it full time and not have to worry about like monetizing it or anything like that. I mean, really, it's just the idea is just to fight Apple. If you have a couple bucks, please help us fight Apple. Like, we're going to shut their shit down. And yeah, that's basically my talk. I'm really tired. Hi. Say it again. Oh, it's on Indiegogo. If you Google for or Yahoo or Bing or whatever they do in the stop it. Say it again. Oh yeah, or say it again. Oh yeah, the Yola is a really cool phone. It's actually a Linux-based phone, and because it probably uses Firefox or Chrome or some combination of the two. Again, any modern web browser can run CoinPunk. I mean, that's what's so cool about HTML5 JavaScript applications is that it really is the universal programming language. I can write one application and it works on every single thing. I mean, except for like Internet Explorer, but fuck Internet Explorer. Come on, like seriously, don't do anything serious with Internet Explorer. Yes. That would be better. Cryptonate.org. There you go. Oh, so here's so basically, CoinPunk is a completely open source wallet that you can actually run on your own server. The analogy that I've been trying to think of is, so a lot of you guys use RSS, and Google had a big service called RSS, and they kind of shut it down arbitrarily, right? And so the response to that was a lot of people just basically ran an RSS feed reader on their own computer, like on a Raspberry Pi at their house or whatever, and they're able to access it remotely. So that was kind of the model that I established for CoinPunk. When Apple started like banning all of the Bitcoin apps, I realized really quickly that there was a lot of people that wanted to use it, but didn't necessarily know how to run like a kind of security tightened down server. And so CoinPunk.com, the intention of it was to be a way for people to use their iPhones to continue to send and receive Bitcoin transactions. I was originally, obviously, I was trying not to do that. I was trying to just make the infrastructure and not actually get involved in the actual running of that infrastructure. But I just, I had to do something. Like we've got to, we can't have Bitcoin work with half of the phones not able to use it. Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yes. But you can run, if you don't trust me, you can literally take your wallet, back it up from the site, and run it on your own server. So it's one of those things where you don't have to trust me. And I like that model. I like completely open source models like that because, that's what Bitcoin is, right? Would you guys trust Bitcoin if it was like a closed proprietary piece of software? No. Is there a way to implement WebRTC in the future? Well, so here's the thing. You can't really do binary protocols on the web browsers. Like, you can do, like, binary data, all like WebSockets and WebRTC, but you can't, like, re-implement the Bitcoin protocol itself in the browser. I would like to see that happen, actually. I would really like to be able to write socket applications in the browser in JavaScript, because then we can write Bitcoin applications that directly talk to the Bitcoin network, and all you have to do is load a web page, and all of a sudden you're a Bitcoin node. I think that's a really awesome thing, and I hope somebody gets to it someday. The question basically like, why isn't CoinPunk using for multiple cryptocurrencies? Yeah, the problem with multiple cryptocurrencies is that the way that CoinPunk works is similar to the way that blockchain works, in that it does all of the cryptography in the browser, which means that the server does not have the private keys, which are, as we've learned from experience, putting the private keys on a server is an extremely bad fucking idea. I mean, we're talking like $500 million worth of Bitcoins or something has been stolen just by putting private keys on a server. I mean, if you just Google for Bitcoin wallet hacks, it's just like this epic, like Faustian list of crazy hacks, and they're all server wallet related. So, but the problem is that in order to actually get Bitcoin, the official Bitcoin implementation, to just listen to addresses and not have the private keys, you have to use a patch of an unstable version of it right now. So getting it to work on Bitcoin itself is hard enough. Like getting it to work on like all of the forks of it that don't even have that patch is a much more difficult thing. One of the things I've been looking at recently is using BTCD, which is the implementation of Bitcoin that's written in Go. It has things like watch-only addresses by default just built into the damn design. It uses WebSockets like a hero. It's awesome. Yeah. One more question.
Go, man, let's go.
We gotta go, man. Let's go. Thank you.